Do you want to start a business but don't know the steps you need to take to begin? No stress. I'm going to break down my shockingly easy guide to business. I've used this guide time and time again when starting my previous million-dollar companies. Recently, I met Molly, who was stuck working multiple jobs and never able to pursue her dream. I'm going to show her my guide to business so you can follow along. But what she doesn't know is I'm going to offer her thousands to help her break free and pursue her dream. Will she take it? Thanks to Adobe Express for sponsoring this video.
Welcome to Entrepreneur House. So great to have you here.
It's amazing to be here. Thank you very much.
The mission today is to try and make your dream a reality. But before you leave here today, ideally, you're all set up and ready to go to make it happen. And the most important thing will be that you really believe that it's possible. Because this is often what happens. People get caught up in day-to-day life. And that distracts you, ironically, from making a life. Right? Let's start a little bit with why you want to do this. What is your dream?
My dream, in essence, altogether, would just be to help people. I guess it's the same thing on how I can relate to you and why I love your content is because it's the same purpose. And ideally, that's exactly what I want to do. So, like, taking the struggles of everyday life for someone and making their life having a positive impact on people's lives. That's ideally what I want to do. And I found that passion within the start of my caring job. And that's just how it just stemmed from there. Before I moved away to my studies, I got a job in London to look after this elderly man, and I just fell in love with making such a positive impact on someone's life that needed the help, and it just fueled me from there. And then my dream sort of grew, and I was like, I could do this, or I could have my own little centre where I help people, and it's like the best therapy and mental health help and support all in under one roof, and it just sort of stemmed from there.
I feel like it's not easy for you to do this next step. That's the vibe I get.
Yeah, no, it's not. I think just like you said before, general life is just stressful. Like I've just graduated and I'm trying to get a full-time job as well as manage everything else that I'm doing that's different part-time jobs. It's just finding something that feeds my soul. That's ideally what success is to me, regardless of whatever outcome. It's something that feeds my soul and makes me happy, and it's not just about numbers, it's about purpose as well.
And here is the problem that when you put it into the real world, you need to make a living, right? So I'm helping you for free. I've got a whole crew of people here. Camera equipment costs a fortune. So how does that all get paid for? And I think that's where people come unstuck. Because that's why people don't become painters anymore. Or these things. Oh, how am I going to make a living doing what I love? And then you go get a job that they think pays the bills, right? But it doesn't feed the soul. So how are we going to make your dream happen? What's your plan?
Ideally, it would be to start small, because obviously the economy we're at the moment, it's a far stretch to even reach for a star and grab it to the end goal straight away. But essentially, with my passions for social media and sort of organisational skills and everything combined into that, I do think starting a social media agency of some sort is probably the best bet. It's the most realistic thing that could coincide work with everything that's gone on in my everyday life and work and all of that sort of stuff. I feel like it would work well amongst real life stuff.
Yep.
If that makes sense. It's something to start the steps to walk towards the end goal.
Yeah.
Essentially.
In the 19 companies that I've built, the ones that have succeeded have always had what I call small fish and big fish mindset, right? So the small fish is, let's call it, like you're saying, an agency. But the big fish is you still need to reach for the stars. Yeah. You need to be fishing for both types of fish, basically. I do think you should reach for the stars. I actually think if you start now reaching for the stars, you've got time on your side because you're young enough that there's more chances of you grabbing it. But if you don't reach for it, you definitely won't ever get it. You understand what I mean? Yeah. But the small fish, I term it as income. The small fish is income. And a service business is not a bad place to start. But the important point around that small fish is it still needs to be in the same lake as the big fish. Absolutely. So the same lake in your case, let's say it's a social media agency for old people's home. That type of idea. It's got to be focused on what your big aim is. Yeah. And not get sidetracked with maybe and this comes down to personal preference, but doing social media for a makeup brand. Okay, fine. Maybe you like makeup. You could do that. But that won't be on target for the bigger picture. Yeah. Because ironically, you catch small fish that big fish want to find out what's going on. Yeah. So actually, by building a service business, I think it's a great way of also removing the need for a job, which will take you away. I mean, jobs definitely don't have the core, your main personal purpose, right? I just want to make sure, though, before we move on to the next steps of how to do this, do not say again, ever, you can't reach for the big star. Don't ever say that again.
Okay.
All right? But seriously, because when you say those things out loud, your subconscious believes it. And of course, if you don't aim for something, you'll never hit it. So you have to remove that from your mind. You absolutely should go for the big thing and also, like you say, execute on the small thing. Yeah. So how do you do both at the same time? For me, it's about a plan. So you get ready for that moment that you're stuck in a lift with a billionaire and he says, oh, we're stuck in this lift. What's your big dream? And you say, well, funny you should say that. And there it is. Yeah. I need $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, whatever it is you think you might need to make this big idea happen. You're ready to take your shot. Yeah. And that is just a plan. Initially, it is literally writing down how you're going to do it, why you're going to do it, what makes you special, what the process is, and what perhaps, if it was an investor you needed, for example, the money would be spent on. Yeah. In the meantime, because we can't rely on a white knight, right? We can't rely on someone walking up to you in a shop and saying, what's your dream, and helping you, right? You can't rely on that. What do you do? And I think this service business idea is totally overlooked by people, because people, unfortunately, they want the big idea or nothing. Yeah. But I think there is stepping stones. There's two ways to get there. Through a service business that you can start, which we say, today I think we can create the branding, we can maybe try and get you a client, we can try and figure out what the marketing strategy is. Starting a service business is totally doable, right? Yeah. I think the bigger idea, let's make a plan today. Figure out what that big idea looks like. Does it involve costly things like real estate? Probably, based on what we've talked about before, right? But let's plan it all out. Yeah. Right? Just taking a step back for a second, though, because I've seen a lot of people don't make things happen because of the circle that they're in and their family. So the family might have expectations on you. You might tell a friend about your dream and they'll say, don't be silly, you got to just get a job, this is all rubbish. Too good to be true, it can't be true. People say these sorts of things. So tell us a little bit about your circle and your family life.
I'm quite fortunate, to be fair. I have a really tight relationship with my sister. She's my absolute rock. My friends as well. I am very sort of like strict on who I keep in my circle, because again, I think the moral of having people that feed your soul as well, that you feed theirs, is a massive thing to just happiness in general. My partner is the most important person in my life. He supported me through all of my studies and all of like my doubts and all of the moments when I was really struggling. He's just been my absolute rock. Really.
What does he do?
He does social media and marketing, so he works in a firm in London.
Great.
I'm really proud of him. Very proud of him.
That's nice. Try to convince him to join your agency.
I will. That's what we actually spoke about. Like, it's a thing of he's always wanted to be self-employed. He's very much like everyone's mindset here.
People think don't work with your partner, or they say don't work with friends. There's all these sayings out there, just absolute rubbish. Yeah. Actually, all the people I work with now I consider friends. Yeah. And I worked for 12 years with my now wife. And it's the best experience ever. When you move in with someone and you actually get to know them a little deeper, and you really, that experience with working with someone is the same. Fourth thing on my list of making sure that you've got all that you need to make your dream happen would be pain.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so if you've experienced pain, actually it's really powerful.
It is.
I feel like you're talking from a point of pain somewhere in the story. Where's it come from?
You're not going to tap into that, sweetie. It's life. It's just life, isn't it? Things happen to people, and it's actually a superpower, really. Yeah. Because everyone gets drive from somewhere. You're not going to have drive from somewhere that's always a positive place.
If you've got good parents, good friends around you, where's your pain coming from?
That'll be a discussion for next time. But no, I think that's fine.
Now, I'm not asking you to tell us your pain today. It's personal. I would say, though, in this category of like how to make something happen, you have to learn to actually talk about the pain. Oh, yeah. Because actually in that pain, and I bet you, I don't know what's happened, but if I dig in, if you are able to talk about it, it could be exactly what powers up the business to be special. So pain. The next thing to talk about, I think, is what is the end goal? Now, you briefly mentioned this at the beginning around having, let's say, a new type of care home.
I have a whole presentation that I've made for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll go through a
It's only
presentation.
like 3 or 4 slides, but it's still like a really good explanation.
Great, well, we'll go through that.
So, tell me your business.
So this is essentially the end goal plan, but it can be applied to step by step. So this is just a breakdown of some of the aims. So obviously accessibility, all abilities. This is obviously all based within the whole practical aspect of it. So accessibility to all, reliability, gives you a breakdown on like the sort of service, comfort, obviously to ensure safety and well-being, and care, so it's what we deliver essentially. Some of the selection of places that I could partnership with other companies, so it also benefits them. So like meal service / restaurants, barbers / hairdressers, spa / beauty treatments, physiotherapy and rehabilitation departments. Basically everything under one roof. Logistics, get from A to B, business plans, obviously sponsors, charities, location, business collaborations. For example, businesses that have already been started up, they have sort of a ground or people who you work with to help bring them on and work in the facility, but also pay them more, just so that they feel like they have value there, because they do. Because if it wasn't for them, then everything else wouldn't run. They're working hard and I want them to feel like they're being looked after, as well as obviously benefits in regards to working for that location. Speaking of location, I know it's obviously less cost effective if you took, say, an abandoned property and sort of recycled it. But again, it's actually a waste of space and a waste of land, having no purpose of a building that is completely abandoned. Charities, I'd want to, any fees and stuff that would be put into the facility, I'd want a portion of it to go back to help research for example, dementia, Parkinson's, cancer research, to support the residents in there. So we're doing our bit as well. Sponsors, again, that is kind of the Kickstarter of everything. That's a brief breakdown.
Okay. So, what's missing from this?
A lot of things, obviously.
The most important thing, what's missing?
Is this a trick question?
No,
I'm nervous.
It's not a trick question. There is one major important thing missing from this deck. What is it? The profile of the people you're going to help. This is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
As a business plan,
yeah,
I want to see visuals. I want to see their stories. I want to see why they need this, what's missing, what they're caring about. I want people in this deck.
Yeah.
I want to feel emotion. I would also figure out how you can do this not just with physical premises. Some of this stuff can be done, comfort and care can be done without your own premises. So for example, you've highlighted the spas. Maybe you initially just get all the spas to give you half a day a month when you take people there. You know, you don't need your own premises, you can use their premises. So 2 things in here I think definitely is the profile of the people, and then maybe how you can begin to install some of these brand values, like comfort and care, into what's out there already without you having to buy it.
Yeah.
All right. The name. When creating a brand, we need to just ascertain the brand assets.
Yeah.
Of course, the name. But you can write the word differently. So all in care may have a trademark problem.
That's fine.
But if you put all and in together as one word, all in, care might have a higher chance of getting it.
That's ideally what I'd wanted to do.
Yeah. So then we just need to design something that kind of allows you to still read it with it still being potentially trademarkable.
Describe everything you can describe 10 years from now. What does the business look like? What does your life look like?
Happy. I just want to be content and happy. And I think that that's a massive thing of looking back and seeing that I've had a positive impact, and I've worked hard, and that I've turned another mindset around. That is essentially the end goal. Whatever physically, business-wise is left there, remaining, or has been built, it's just positive.
Happiness is not a real thing. Let's give an example today. I'm happy to be helping you. I feel lucky that I've got the time and the resources to help.
But isn't that the whole sense of your business, though? HelpBnk.
Yes, exactly.
So how I say that?
But happy is not real, and this is what I mean. My son wants me to play with him right now. He just asked me to play table tennis with him, and I can't. So I have unhappiness in my happiness, right?
Yeah.
And some of my happiest moments, like for example, my previous business, Fluid, we won the CNN account. And the day we won that account, it was fantastic. We had a meeting at the end of it. The client said, we're giving you the business. It was transformational for my business.
Yeah.
Literally before they turned up, I was cleaning the toilets in the agency because the cleaner hadn't turned up, and I knew that the client might go into the toilets. I'm literally cleaning shit out of a toilet. Of course, I'm not happy, right? So I think that 10 years from now, when you watch this back, you will be watching this back, and even if all of your business dreams have come true, if your measure was happy, you're going to be disappointed. You're already one step ahead of most, because most people will say, I want to make money, right? And we all know money doesn't make you happy, right? The only thing of value that money gives you is time. It's what you spend your time on that matters. But people think money makes them happy. That's fine. I've made money, so I know that's not true. A lot of people still need to do that to know that's not true. But actually what's going to give you, ironically, money, sometimes happiness and spiritual contentment is the end goal vision. And you said it. Well, I want to make it really, really clear. Helping someone have a place to go where they feel safe and loved. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's probably the mission statement for your business. So if 10 years from now, you watch this video back and one person has that, then you should be proud. Right? Let's talk about your personal finances for a minute, because within funding, there's also cost. Yeah. Sometimes people think they need a lot of money to start a business. They need a lot less than they think because their costs of living are too high and they need to bring it down a notch.
Ideally with social media, you don't really, dependent on like what the startup is, you don't essentially need like money to start anything up on social media. It's just, you just need a camera, you need internet, and you go.
Well, if you started this service business today, you need money quite quick because you can't quit your job unless you've got other jobs, right? No. You're doing 2 jobs, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
So you do need income.
Yeah.
Let's just assume your cost of living right now are reasonable. Okay. Have you got debt?
Student loan.
Student loan. How much is a student
loan? Like car finance.
Yes,
count?
Definitely counts.
Yeah, I got it recently though, but it was to help me get new clients. So
all right, you justified it.
Yeah, I'm not going to splurge on something that's not going to have a purpose.
How much do you spend on the car?
Only like I think 300. I've paid like a few months now. But
how much is the car worth?
Originally it's 8, but obviously with the finance on top it's like 10 point something. But
10 grand.
Basically, yeah.
£300 a month is a quite high fixed cost additional to your life. I can't get into it now because we'd have to go through your finances more meticulously for me to really balance out this advice. But the general thing is, you've got to get your costs down, right?
But no, the car has benefited us in many ways.
I understand. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the truth though. That car could stop your dream from happening.
Why though?
Because it's a cost. It's called delayed gratification, right? It's a social experiment, I think by Stanford. Where they basically gave a load of kids sweets, and they said, "Do you want 1 sweet now, or wait 10 minutes, and we'll give you 3 sweets." Right? Social experiment. They left the room. I think at the time it was 10 kids. 2 kids waited. The other kids ate the sweets straight away as soon as the person left the room. Sweets in front of them, they ate it. Felt good, gone.
Yeah.
They then tracked those people 15 years later into the adult world, and the ones that hadn't taken the sweet became more successful. Because success is about delayed gratification. You're not quite happy with your life, so you need that car. You talk yourself into it, even now, even when talking to me. Yeah. I'm telling you the truth. Yeah. That car is a risk to your future. Yeah. You still see it as a net positive, right? That car is costing you £3,800 plus petrol plus a year, right? So that is startup capital, right? That is startup capital. That is marketing on social media to get your client or have a client and do a really good job for them and invest in that client. That's cash flow, right? So, and that's just one item within your expense bucket that I've just, I know is a problem. But anyway, look, I just think it's about keeping an eye on those things, right? Yeah. I'm not saying get rid of the car right now. It's your life. But just remember this delayed gratification. The more you delay getting something, the more reward will be later. Yeah. That's why I tell people not to buy a house when they're young. Right? People are like, get a house or get a mortgage. Yes, you'll have a 2-bedroom house in the outskirts of London and you'll be on a 30-year mortgage and paying that for the rest of your life. But you'll have a house now. Stop paying rent now. But that's not how you get rich. Right? That's not how you get free either. No. right? What you want is ideally to have low costs, so you can invest in something that brings a high yield over time. Delayed gratification is the single biggest thing that people do not apply to their lives that would make their lives better over time. You have so much of the ingredients needed to be successful. Now I think we need to move to the practical steps.
Yeah.
Let's move to like the physical creation of the business.
So Molly, let's get your business started and create some content. I use Adobe Express. It's this all-in-one app that helps making content easy. I cannot recommend it enough. I'm going to show you how to use it and we're going to get your business going. One of my favorite things to do is create a logo for a business. It makes it real. Okay, so let's use one of the templates on here. Of course, based on your brand profiling, I think this one could work quite well. So we can easily change the background color here.
Yeah.
So I think we'll go a little lighter maybe. There you go. So of course, if you want, we can change the font easily. Personally, I quite like this. There we are. Done.
And this is all free, because usually software would be, of this level, would be quite expensive.
This is free. People don't even realize, do they?
Crazy how easy it is as well.
So let's now create your brand kit.
Yep.
This is so simple. I can't believe how good this app is. I am useless at this sort of stuff, but this makes it so easy to use. So let's just upload your new logo, add your colors, add your font. So now we can use this to make social posts and all the other communications for your business easier.
Easy as that. Cool.
Wow. Now don't overthink when it comes to posting. This software, Adobe Firefly, is mind-blowing, and this will help you get to a point where you've got something you like to post, but don't overthink it. Let me show you. So we'll upload an image of you. Let's just play around with it. It's so easy to use this thing. Okay, so there we go. Now this AI tool is mind-blowing. Just type in something crazy like soft green falling leaves. Let's see what that looks like. There. How exciting is that? Basically, you should just play around with this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this stuff will certainly help you get it to a point where you like it. Adobe Firefly, which is Adobe's new AI product, is also now integrated in Express, which means it has this new text-to-image feature. Now, it's just for fun, a homely cartoon house. Let's see what it generates. And it gives you some options. I think
wow.
That is amazing, isn't it?
That is really cool.
So just play around with this. Have some fun with it. This Adobe Firefly technology is awesome. Just play around. So here's Callum, who's going to use the all-in-one editor, and he's going to show you how easy it is to use.
So Molly, now we're going to make some video for your socials. So we start here, we'll go video, start from scratch. And now what I want to start off by doing is just by inserting some stock footage into the editor here. Adobe Stock has tons of stuff to choose from. You're bound to find something that you like. So if I just type in carer, I'm going to pick this one. I like the look of this guy. And we'll just make him a little bit bigger so he fills the screen. Now, alternatively, what you can do, if you like, you can look at some of the templates here and you can search, so you can search care. You can make them from scratch yourself or just scroll through the templates and find something that's pre-made and that you already like. That looks pretty good. And now from here, what we can do, we can add your logo, which you've already made with Simon earlier. There we go, boom, logo. We can put that in the top corner perhaps or something like that. So there you go, you've got your branding on this video now. So I'm gonna add some text now. So we'll add that in and we'll type in all in care. So we're there. Let's make that white. Now I also want to change the font of this so that it's in line with all your branding. And there we go, our branding is all in line with your brand guidelines already. What I'll do, I'll add a little shadow to this so that it looks good, that looks nice. And then what I want to do, I want to animate this so that this comes in. So we can come down here, go animation in, what looks good. We want something that looks nice. So I think the drop looks pretty nice. And then what we can do to finish this off, we can add some stock music in the background. So let's go media and we can go audio and then we can pick from all of these tunes. So that sounds nice. That sounds like it would be suitable for a care home. So now we've got the whole video together. We've got the text, we've got the stock footage, we've got the stock music, we've got your branding in there as well. So if we hit play, this should all come together. And this is a video which you can post all over your socials and maintain a presence online whilst you launch your new business.
I've got my laptop, so I can literally just go on there and make something in my own time.
Yeah.
And then even use videos that I'm more comfortable filming with too, not just stock videos, and just post it on
exactly
my
that.
social medias. That's really clever.
Well, now the video's done, back to Simon.
There you go. Magic, right? That's the magic of editing. Right, so now we have all the building blocks in place. We have a brand, we have collateral for that brand, we know what the mission and vision is, but one of the big barriers, I think, to now taking action is your time.
Yeah.
So I feel like you don't have much time. just because of the way, even on messaging back and forth, it's been really hard to just meet up with you, right?
Yeah.
You've been so busy.
Yeah.
The system will keep you busy.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I have for you is, what can we cut out of your life and buy you time? What do you not need that you are doing right now to take up so much of your time?
Multiple jobs.
So these multiple jobs you have, what's your total income in a month?
That's not enough.
Roughly, what do you take home each month?
Maybe like 1.4, 1.5.
£1,500.
Yeah, max.
Max.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And you're doing 2 jobs.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah.
People are selling time. We've got to stop that. We're
Yeah.
going to buy you time.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's hard at the beginning to get yourself out of that rut. So I'm going to give you £3,000, 2 months' money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in 2 months, we're going to make this business work.
Mm-hmm.
First, we're going to build a service company, an agency that gives you cash flow while working on the big dream of all-in care.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give you £3,000, but you have to start focusing. I built 19 companies. I wouldn't be able to do any of them if I wasn't focused on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I give you £3,000, can you just focus for 2 months on this business?
I can, but I'd still want to essentially have a full-time nanny job that I have free evenings and free weekends.
But tell me what time it takes up and
So-
how does it support this?
7
idea?
till 7.
7 till 7.
And Monday to Friday.
This is going to stop you being successful with this. So do you want a job or do you want your own business? It's as simple as that.
Well, I'm business at the end of the day.
Then you've got to make some sacrifices
Yeah.
and you can't do a job Monday to Friday, 7 till 7 and build a business.
Yeah.
I think it's only going to take 4 or 5 weeks before you get your first service client.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, maybe we'll get lucky in the next 8 weeks and we'll get a partner or an investor to make your actual main platform work.
Mm-hmm.
But you need focus and all in. Ironically, all in commitment,
Yeah.
right? This isn't an expectation. I give people money without expecting anything in return. I'm just telling you what I know to be true, that if I give you the money and you don't commit to this, 2 months from now, you will spend that money and it won't work because you won't have had the time to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to buy time for you, but you have to believe it.
Yes, then I'll do it. I'll write on my resignations. Like, actually, seriously, I will.
Okay.
I feel like it's sort of a thing that if I don't try, even if it gets nowhere and I've had time to focus on it and I can always go back to where I was, it's just the same road as me saying no. So
Right.
why not try?
At the end of the day, it is your life though.
Yeah.
I'm not here to force you to do anything. I'm basically just showing you what I know and I'm putting my money where my mouth is, right?
Yeah.
And time.
Yeah.
So me and the team here will help you. I promise you, you're not alone. It's still your responsibility to make it work. We can't make it work. It's your responsibility to make it work, but we can help you make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give you the money. But this decision is quite a big one. Why don't you sleep on it? We can talk tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
Don't make a rash decision on this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you say yes in a few days' time, something else to think about. These are the things I think you need to do. And I can only put these suggestions on the table if you have time. If you don't have time, these are pointless. But if you have time, you need to set yourself a couple of challenges. One is to do a post a day about your journey, right? But I think start sharing your process, even your concerns about the conversation we're having now. If I quit and I don't get, all of these concerns, right? You should start documenting your journey and put yourself under pressure to do 1 post a day on your personal social media, sharing your journey. And then the other thing that you need to do, every single day you need to reach out to 10 potential partners on the service business side. I think that's what's required to make this business work. It's really about the numbers, right? When it comes to building a service business, it's just about reaching out to enough people consistently every day. So when you wake up, what time do you wake up normally?
6, 5, 6.
6, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure you leave yourself half an hour in the morning to get a clear plan of what is success in that day. And the things you hate to do, whatever's on that list that you really hate to do them first.
Yeah.
So let us know tomorrow what you decide.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you are serious, then our commitment is the money and continued help. I'm going to be old. You're going to be old.
Yeah.
I want what you're talking about in the world.
Thank you.
Keep up to date with Molly's journey by following her socials. Hit the link in the description to check out Adobe Express for free.